Hello everyone, welcome to Upper Public School. This is your IT teacher Shashidhar SK. In last class we have studied about chapter 7 and 8. In this video we are going to understand the concepts which are available in chapter 9. By the end of this chapter you are going to understand how to create the macros and what are the macros and how to create the user defined functions and how to pass the arguments in a macros. These things we are going to understand. Without wasting much time, we'll begin the session. Let's begin. Unit 2, electronic spreadsheet. In that, chapter 9, using macros in a spreadsheet. The macros feature of Excel allows you to record a set of actions that you perform repeatedly in a spreadsheet. That means you are recording the whatever you are applying the formatting effects to the spreadsheet or a cells, that will be recorded the same formatting effects. Not only formatting effects, we can record the formulas and the functions and any conditional formatting also. All those things can be applied to the sheet, that all effects or features are recorded as a macros. The same function or the same formattings that can be retrieved by calling this macro function. And the macros are small programs that records as you perform a task in Excel. So whatever you are creating the formattings, it may formattings or it may calculation, that will be stored as a program, and they automate the record actions and save your time and efforts. When you create a macro, actually it is recording your mouse clicks and keystrokes. According to that, it is going to record your actions. The same action will be applied whenever you are calling the same function, macro function. So through this we can create the user defined function also, a kind of, right? So let us see that practically how to create the simple macros and how to view or edit a macro code. So to view or to edit the macro code, we need to open the code in the VBA, that means Visual Basic for Applications. So this comes inbuilt with the Excel. We need to enable from the options, Excel options. Then only we can able to see the code or edit the code which is created in macros. Let us see all the things practically. Let's begin. So here we have the example to explain the macro feature. So in this sheet 2, I have taken some student names, and these are the marks for the PA1. So here I need to find the average of these marks, maximum and minimum, and who are scored more than 75. In the same way, in a sheet 2, so this is the marks for PA2. I will create the function here, and that function I will call in sheet 3. Directly it should display that. That is the task. Let us see that how to do that. To create a macro, we need to go to View tab. Here click on it. So here we have the option. Before going to that, we need to select the relative reference, and just we need to click here, and next start recording. So here we need to define the name for that. Macro example will define, and here we need to define the shortcut key. Control Shift P I'll take. Control plus Shift plus P is the shortcut key to call this macro function. Click on OK. Now apply the formatting effects or whatever the changes you are going to do. It will record all the actions. Here first I'll call the average function, average open bracket select all the cells, enter, equals to, for finding the maximum we need to use max function, select the range, enter. In the same way we can find the minimum value using min function, select the range, enter. So here we need to find the number of students who are scored more than 75. For that we need to use count if function, count if, select the range, comma, define the criteria more than 75. This is, now stop recording. We need to stop the recording, stop it, and come to the sheet 3. Just click here, and what shortcut we defined over there, just we need to select that. We can see that macros, and we can click on the edit. So here the control plus shift P, that we can understand that. Now control shift P, directly we got all the values, right? So this is the way of creating the macros. Even we can create the conditional formatting also for that. So go on, you can, again I'll copy this, I'll show you once again, copy, and here copy paste. Now you can delete all these things, just change the name, numbers or marks, right? The same function, control plus shift plus P. So I have clicked here, click here, control plus shift P. This is the way of creating the macros. And to open and view, here we have, click on option view macros. So here it shows the number of macros which you created before. To edit, just click on the edit, and here we can get the window. This is called VBA, Visual Basic for Application. So this is inbuilt, we need to enable from the Excel options. Okay, next is using macro as a function. So right now, just before we have seen how to create the macros. So such functions we can create in the Visual Basic application also. So let us see that how to do that. And before going to that, we have some points. Let us go through that. A function is a line of code that gets executed on function calling. When you call a function, it gets invoked and returns the results as per the code. So in a macros, we have called that function using the shortcut key. Here we can create the functions. You can say a user defined functions. So built-in functions are sum, average, count. So these are the built-in functions. So whatever we are defining or creating the function, those are called as the user defined functions. And in each function has a name and may have parameters whose values you pass when you call the function. So this is the syntax, and so this is the example code. So the same thing we are going to try it. So here the function name, and this is the body of the function, and the function name equals to results. We need to write end function. This is the syntax, and the same thing here code. So as example we have mentioned, the same example I have taken from your textbook. So here the function, the name of the function is total, and the body of the function or a function name or a result. So this is a function name, and this is the result and the end function. So let us see that practically. New sheet I'll take. So here developer option I have got it. So to enable that, I need to go to Excel options, defaultly it is not available in your document, right? So in Windows, MS Office 2007, the option is available in the popular, here the show developer tab. It is disabled, you need to enable it, check it, then it will displays. If you are using Office 2010-19 like that, so that will be available in the customize. Here the ribbon customize option will be there, so here we need to check that, click on OK. So developer option we got here. So to go to Visual Basic application, we have shortcut, that is Alt F11. Alt F11. So this is the shortcut, right? And here I want to create new module, insert module. And also we have one more way. Go back to the Excel sheet. In this we have insert option, click on this insert button, just drag it, click on new. So here in a subsheet 6 button 1 click, so the same function we need to use. So here the button it is, afterwards we'll try this one. First I will try the function. So this one I'll take function total equals to, call the function name total equals to 10 plus 20. Now we'll call that function which is created in that, equals to total. So here we got the same, just close that, we got the value. So this is a way of creating the simple function in a VBA, right? And the next, passing arguments to a macros. Arguments are nothing but values or a parameters. A macro acts as a function. You can pass arguments to a macro when you call it, right? Through the buttons we can do that. The value passed to a macro are called the arguments. The arguments are always written in parentheses and are separated by commas. So let us see how to pass the values. And again for that we have two ways. One is by the reference and by the value. Only the difference is here by reference or by value. The difference is you will come to know while using these functions practically, by the reference or by value. So these are the basic things to create the macro functions. So based on that, in next we are going to create the sorting function, or we are going to sort the data, and we can create the new function also. Directly we can call them and it will be executed easily. Let us see that, how to pass the arguments to a macro. I'll delete it. Insert the button to click on new. So you will get the option. So that code we need to enter over here. Let's enter the code. Message box. Triple X So just enter it, and now we need to call the function. So what is the name of the function? Triple. Now this is the end function. Now we can save it. Okay, we need to save it as a macro file. Here we need to select a macro enabled worksheet. Save it. Okay, replace it. Now we can open that file. Just click on it. It will shows value 10. So this is the way of passing the arguments or values, right? So next we'll see how to pass the values using reference and values. For that, again I'll take one more button, insert, click on new, and here we need to enter the code for the reference or value. First I'll go with the reference. Dim x as integer, x equals to 10, message box triple function x, next message box x. Okay, so this is the code for the button, and next we need to write the function triple. So we need to mention the by reference, by ref x as integer, here x equals to x into 3, next triple equals to x. So next end the function, just save it and go to the Excel sheet, click on it, ambiguous username detected, triple name is okay. So we need to write in a different sheet, another model we need to take. Just I'll copy it, x in different model I'll take it, I'll remove this one and paste it, and now just run it. So now we got the value 30 and 30, twice it is showing, because it is showing as a reference value we have given there, that's why 2 times it is showing 30 and 30, right? In the same way we need to create one more module for the reference, or else we can change it by here also itself, by reference instead of by val, right? Now yes, Control S for saving. Next go back to the Excel sheet, click on button 3, and it is showing first 30, then it is showing 10, because so this is the difference between the reference and the value. Okay, next is macros as a built-in functions. So we have seen some built-in functions, some count, average. So these are the built-in functions. So through this we can create the user defined functions. As I said before, such functions are called as user defined functions. So these are not called as the built-in functions, right? So here we have one example, calculation of age. So this much code we need to write, and we can call the function, then it will shows the age of that person, right? So this much the code need to be written in the VBA. Let us see that. Right, again I'll take one more module, So here I need to copy that function name we need to define. For that, next end the function, right? So let us try that. So save it and go back to the Excel sheet. So here I'll take the equals to age in years, right? In double quote I need to write the start date and the end date. So 11 November 1850 I'll take, right? So comma, again double quote, 11 December 1899. So we got the age as a 49. So this is the way of creating the age in years. So this is the user defined function. This will not be available defaultly. It is created right now, right? This is the way of creating the functions, right? The next is accessing cells directly using VBA. That means directly we can access the cells by defining the cells addresses. Here we are defining the first number is for the column and the second number is for the row, right? In a first column and the first row, what are the value are there that will be displayed as the message box, right? And also we can define the row number and the column number. In columns we have alphabets, instead of that 1 and 2 we can define, and also we can define the range also. By that also we can get the values which is available in that particular cell. So let us try that also. First I'll write the values. Like this one, 45 I'll write. I'll go to the VBA. So let's take another workbook. It will be easier to access the cells. So new I'll take. So here I'll enter the value 1, 2 or something, anything, right? Now go to the macros, that means Visual Basic. So here in sheet 1, so this is the code I have prepared. So the same code I have written here, just run that. You will get the value 12 which is available in the cell 1 1. The column number and the row number is 1. So instead of the numbers we can use the range also. Instead of cells we can use the range. When you are using the range, we need to mention the cell reference as it is in double quote A1. Close the double quote and save it. No need to save, just run it directly. The same thing, it is showing 12. So this is the way of accessing the cell data through the VBA, Visual Basic application, right? And next, sorting the columns using macros. So here, without using built-in function in a Excel sheet directly, we can use the sorting function through the macro. So this is the syntax for that. Range, this is the cell reference, the range for that, the sort. So this is the syntax. Let us see that one by one. So range, it refers to the data that you want to sort. For example, A1 is to C11. This is the range. We can define the range in bracket. Then the sort is the method that will perform sorting operation on the specified range. The next is a key. It is used to specify the column according to which you want to sort the data. For example, in a first column you have a rule number, and the second column you have a names. So which column, according to which column you are going to sort the whole table. So that is the key. There we can mention the first column, that means A1, A2 like that. And next is order. It should be sorted in a ascending order or descending order. For that we need to use the keyword order 1, right? And next is header. So it is used to specify whether the data set has header or not. So usually in table the first line will be header. It should not be sorted with the other values. So that's why we need to mention the table is contained header or not. If it is header is available in your table, then we need to x equals to Excel yes, or else it will be no. So let us try these in a macros, in a VBA. Let us see that in practically also. Let's start how to sort the data. Before that we need to prepare some data. I'll prepare it. So first will be the roll number and the name of the student. Class and section. Not this much. Again, it will take time. So these data I want to sort it. So for that we need to go to VBA. What is the shortcut for that? Alt F. Right, the sheet 1 module. So here we need to define it. Sub sort data enter range. So what is the range? See that Alt F7. So here the range is from A1 to C11. Alt A1 to C11. Next, and it should be in double quote. Close the bracket, comma. So here the sort key 1 equals to range. So which column? According to the alphabetical wise, I'll take B1. And now comma order 1 equals to Excel ascending comma header we have the header also. So equals to Excel, yes. Now we can run, save it, we can run it. Let's see, go to table, and here the data is sorted according to the alphabetically. So B1, the column we have selected, so according to that it is displaying. So let's try that, instead of rule number, we'll go through the rule number. Instead of B1, we'll mention here A1. Now save and again run it. Now go back to the Excel sheet. So again we got the according to the rule number wise. Right. Okay, next. Okay, this is all about your chapter 9. This is the last chapter of this unit. That means the whole unit is completed. So you need to practice more on these chapters and a unit. If you are having any doubts, you can come to the doubts clarification session. Thank you, one and all.